Hi there guys, RDU here. We just finished the first day of Grandmasters like 1 or 2 hours ago. I want to record my thoughts on like some of the games that happened today. I'll go through them. The first match I had was versus Jarla. By the way, this is like a special series. If you like it, don't forget to press the like button. If I get, let's say, 2,000 likes on at least one of the matches that I'm gonna upload this week, I'm gonna do it next week as well. So press that like button before we start. Uh, okay, let's go. Let's get into it. So we have a lovely priest versus mage. Hopefully the deck layout is not that bad. I'll have my opponent's deck above me and my deck there. If you have any suggestions on how to make things better, we can do things differently as well. I feel like a live deck tracker would be like too hard to implement, so let's just go for this. I'm gonna skip at some points where I'm thinking or where my opponent is thinking a little bit too much. I just want to talk about the gameplay and important turns. I don't want to waste your time either. I also don't want to talk about matchup order because I don't want to really give away exactly how I think. So I'll just talk specifically about what happens in game. I didn't keep AI and I didn't keep the Firebrand just because I feel like you're fishing for Sorcerer's Apprentice in this matchup against Priest. It's game winning, how powerful it can be. I don't like playing the Magic Trick on one because Magic Trick is very good together with Sorcerer's Apprentice or together with the Wand Thief that we have in our hand. So basically, I feel like there's way more value in holding it than just like playing it on one. I have to skip a bit because Jarla's roping every turn. Yeah, he played Disciple of Galakron. Very difficult turn one. No, I'm kidding. Maybe he is just thinking of the macro game plan. So with the lab partner pickup, I think playing the lab partner is better than playing the magic trick, just because again magic trick is very good with mana cyclone, specifically with Sorcerer's Apprentice. Very hard decision point here. Pyroblast can be used to end the game. Tome of Intellect is very good with mana cyclone, and Conjurer's Calling, which I already have one of in the deck, is very good together with the giant, maximizes the pressure that you have against Priest. Here, all three choices are good. I felt like on turn 2, picking Pyroblast is a little bit optimistic. I also felt like this is a matchup where if you just do a big tempo play and play your giant, you should be fine, so you don't really need Conjurers. I was also low on resources if I don't pick the Tome of Intellect, so I end up picking the Tome of Intellect. By the way, if you disagree with any play or if you like spot something I didn't manage to see here or during the game, just let me know in the comments. I want to become a better player. Like, yes, I'm a Grandmaster, but I'm still a human being. I can make mistakes. I probably made some mistakes today for sure. I'm listening to all the feedback that you guys have to say about what happened here. Again, we have to skip a bit. He just played the 2-3 that he discovered. He generated with a 1-2. This is a rough turn. I'll start to trick just to give myself a play. I think AI is the pick. And then it's pretty simple. You just trade the 1-2s into the 1-3 and ping. Next turn you have AI. It's a little slow, but what should I do? Like, I'm never playing the second trick and then the tome because I waste my cards from the mana cyclone. Yeah, I feel like this is just like fine. I don't know if... Yeah, it's fine. You want to really dig for that Sorcerer's Apprentice? Wait, I skipped too much, sorry. So he goes for the Cleric of Scales, which is the main engine of the Priest deck. Basically, it's playing a lot more dragons, and then he's playing this to discover your spells. So you have card draw through just drawing your spells faster from your deck. He's debating here what he wants to pick. By the way, I forgot to put the golden card back for this series. Big mistake. I'm playing the pleb default card back while he's rocking the golden one. He's dropping the tempo set deck. Very interesting. I kind of have to AI. Nothing there. And I will play the Devolving Missiles because I cannot afford to get Apotheosis on that. Kind of unlucky. He could have had 2 1-1s. Whatever, doesn't matter much. At least we weren't completely unlucky, like we hit the set deck. Not hitting the set deck would be the biggest blunder.
Thy blood be born again.
He gets another Disciple with a Raise Dead, very powerful combo. And he gets another 1-1 that discovers a spell from your deck. I mean, it's not like it draws the spell from the deck through a discovery, but it doesn't discover an extra copy, you know?
We are all bound.
Fate Weaver, which is active on 6 cards. Emperor Torisan. And then he plays the Cleric, draws a spell. He's already on the offensive, and I'm the one that should be on the offensive in this matchup. But I didn't have the start. So here I'm gonna try to just look for Sorceress and then do a big Sorceress power play. And hopefully that power play is enough to keep me afloat. I do the Studies, which is like an interesting card. I start with it and I don't get any cheap options. With cheap options I could have like went Crumb Sessions. Now I guess we just play this and discover something. I'm not super happy with this. Again, all 3 options good. Arcane Breath, good if I go Sorceress. Frostbolt, good because it's like a lot of damage per mana cost. I guess Arcane Breath is better than Frostbolt, damage per mana. Frostbolt also freezes. Oops. And then Arcane Explosion whacks most of his board, but I'll probably not have the 4/4 to survive, so that's why I didn't pick the Arcane Explosion there. In hindsight, I don't know. Arcane Explosion maybe was better, but I assumed he's gonna trade with the 1/1 and the 3/6. So then, if I don't top deck another spell power, Arcane Explosion doesn't kill that much. So I feel like the 2/2 at least is gonna... The 2 damage is gonna at least kill a 2/2 or something. Maybe I should have hoped I top deck a spell damage, and then I would clear more with AoE. I don't know. I feel like it's fine. I still feel like Sorceress is my highest chance to win this game. This is basically like Sorceress Mage. Without Sorceress Apprentice, you'll see like you probably don't win any game. This deck is just unable to function without Sorceress Apprentice at the right time.
A simple spell should do.
He keeps going.
Haste. What is a loon's will?
The Apotheosis and the trade. With your up here, with your up. Again, how do we deal with this full board? I'm trying to like figure out a solution. Other than Sorcerer's Apprentice, there's not really much you can do. So here, very interesting turn. I was thinking Conjurers on his 5/5. Maybe I'd go too quickly there. Conjurers the 5/5. And then Arcane Shot the 2/2. Oh, it's so rough. Now if I had the AoE, we would have killed 4 minions. In hindsight. So yeah, again, maybe it was a better pick, but if the top deck was Sorceress, and it's twice more likely for it to be Sorceress than this. I guess if you account also for the Lab guy, it's kind of like similar chance. Actually, a bit higher to be Spell Power. It's super tough. I still feel like Sorceress would be a higher impact play. Like if this was Sorceress, I would go like Sorceress, all the 1 mana spells, mana Cyclone, maybe get more 1 mana spells, and then I would like do something. But with how things are, I got bailed out by the Frost Nova. Like I would love to pick both Learn Draconic and especially Primordial Studies, but I don't want to take 13, I think it is. No, 14. Yeah, 14 is a big number. It's between 13 and 15. And very close to 21. Priest doesn't really have much reach from hand. They have a second Apotheosis, or they can create another Apotheosis, but they don't have any direct burn. So like at least you know what you're getting when you're playing against Priest, especially this list that don't run Kronks. If he would run Kronks and he would be God-Eye Kept, then he could deal way more, obviously, with like 5 damage direct or just +2/+2 your entire board. It could be a real threat, but this list and the one I'm playing as well does not run Kronks. It's running mostly dragons, and dragons just don't deal phase damage. Most of them don't, at least. He's just like thinking a lot. He played free renews. He plays another apple, the second one he has. And now I'm like, come on, sorceress! Where are you hiding, mate? Stifled Tome, I'm hoping for a Blizzard. I get a Lidl Blizzard, aka Cone of Cold. He has the minions on the left there, very well positioned for me to cone them. So I have to cone and just play one of the Cyclones, hope it gives me something that then I can use next turn. Again, this is insane if I just draw the Sorcerer's Apprentice. Every single draw of the game, I'm just hoping to get Sorcerer's Apprentice. And if I would hit the Sorceress, I would be able to like pull off a good clear.
We are friends now. Hello, friend.
The future is clear. Your demise be
I don't really care that he steals a card. I care about what damage I'm gonna take. It's gonna be brutal. He needs the 3/5. He's dead. A lot of tempo. He's basically trying to secure the game, but like, if I hit a powerful Sorceress turn, I'll clear his entire board. And it doesn't really matter how strong he is. Did I hit the Sorceress even now? Like, even now I could have went like Sorceress, Mirror Image, Primordial, Arcane Shot, Mirror Image, Evocation, play some spells, Mana Cyclone, play more spells, freeze. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, with 4 mana left, Sorceress probably wouldn't win the game. At best, if I get a little bit lucky, I can stall and like freeze and whatnot. What's even the play here? If I go Mirror Images, I always lose. I'll tell you why. They have the breath. 100% he has the breath. So, I need to do a play where I clear or freeze some of his minions. Without that, I just don't do anything. So I'm doing some calculations here. I figured out that I have to play Mana Cyclone and get the freeze. Otherwise, I'm just dead. I get Brain Freeze, which if I do it on the 5/9, it's enough to not die. Because again, Priest doesn't have any direct damage. And again, if I would play Mirror Image, I would always be dead. Simply because he always has the breath, because he played the dragon that draws you cards, and he would have drawn a breath at that point. His hand is almost full. 3, 6, 12 damage on the board. 17 would have been with the dragon. The thing is, he probably doesn't have it. 3 damage is very hard for a priest to deal. Without Kronks and without all the other stuff.
What is Elun's will?
He played the 1/1 to discover. He's killing off his minions intentionally.
Your mind is not
So that he can guarantee the Cabal Acolyte steal on my Solarian. He really just wants to give me no options.
dance, puppet.
So now I need the Sorceress and the Miracle. I'm like 14 cards, come on. Where are you hiding? Ah!
Someday I'll be just
Let's see.
like you.
So we started the studies. It's either Solarian or Partner just to like play it. I'm like, I don't have time for Solarian.
Says explode.
You kind of have to cast the AI. But maybe I could have not casted it just to like... I mean, you get one less spell from Evocation. Maybe it was better to just go Arcane Mysteries and keep the AI. Like now, even if I would get a Blizzard, I wouldn't have mana for it. So yeah, I think I shouldn't have one for AI. Just the evocation faster. I got unplayables anyways. I'm just doing some things. I'll conjure his guy. Here I think if he has the breath, I'm just dead. And I'm not sure what he's doing. I skip a bit because Jarla is just like thinking for like 30-40 seconds before he does anything every turn. Renew on the Solarian. He was testing for counter spell, and now he's like, okay, I can breath.
I wonder.
He doesn't seem to have the breath, which I thought should have every time. If I would have played the mirror images like 2 turns ago, when I went for like the YOLO Cyclone, he would have had the 1-1 to discover it, because he played the 1-1 and probably discovered something else. I'm still wondering, maybe it was still better to just like keep the Cyclone and hope he doesn't have it. I don't know. He roped out and didn't go for face. I do the Ras and I have a lot of spell damage. I'm calculating. I'm like, we can kill most of the board. So I'm gonna play the Ras. And I just play the flame, the firebrand. I could have played Conjurer's Calling over playing the 1-drop and the firebrand, but it didn't really seem worth it. And now he's just doing some trade and completely destroying me. He sees the secret, and now nothing can stop him. Devastating. He gets to keep the Ras and completely destroy my board. And here, my friends, the game was over. I feel like even puzzle box probably not good enough to save me from this slump. I top the Ray of Frost and I press the bottom right. Okay. Let me prepare the next decks. I'm going for Druid. Jarla won with the Priest. Jarla, sorry. I don't know. I keep butchering his name. He's one of my subscribers on Twitch, after all. I butcher most my subscribers' names. Okay, so Druid versus Warrior. This matchup is weird in that the Druid just wants to ramp and then kill the Warrior quick. And the Warrior wants to just kill the Druid quick as well, via bombs. Horrible start. I'm a very bad Druid player. I'm not able to draw any of the ramp cards. I mean, Innervate is kind of like a ramp card, but not really. It's not really the ramp card that you want. He's playing Bomb Warrior, as most others do. Bomb Warrior just risen in popularity quite a bit.
Someone's gotta lead the charge.
Here, I kind of want to attack into his minion, simply because I might attack again next turn, and he's not playing Rampage. So because Bomb Warrior is not playing Rampage, you might as well just kill the minion. Like, if you somehow manage to cheat out the Guardian Animals, you want them to have minions on the board so you can trade them. But I'm assuming he is going to play some minions because his goal is pressuring me. And he cannot only pressure me with the weapon, especially because he's not playing upgrades like Iron, for example.
For the wild.
Just attack his minion and go. Like, I'm playing a little quickly in some of the turns, but I really have the whole game plan mapped. So, like, I don't really see a point in playing slower. Like, I'm not gonna coin swipe. I kind of know what I want to do. I probably want to coin one of the 5s. He's probably gonna coin the weapon. And try to go aggressively. Yeah. Excalibur is like very powerful in the current meta game. If nobody plays weapon removal, it's the most powerful weapon in the game because a lot of decks want to just draw their entire deck. This is tough. I feel like I have to coin a 5. The plan is you coin a 5 and then you either play another 5 or you go swipe Nature Studies after the swipe to quasi reduce your Guardians to 6 mana and then go for it. And it's super difficult to see if you should play the Twilight or if you should play the Teacher. The Twilight is very easy for him to kill with the 3 mana AoE that just whirlwinds until it kills a minion.
I wonder.
The Teacher's Pet, on the other hand, Teacher's Pet is not doing that much.
Time waits for no one.
I'm still not sure what's the correct play. Like, Teacher's Pet is a Yeti that summons something. So it's really good, but it's not game-winning good. In a spot like this, maybe you would think that you want to do something more offensive. So I'm biting the bullet. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go for the runner. If you have the AoE, I'll just play the Teacher's Pet and suck it up. The problem was, like, if I play the Teacher's Pet next turn, I'm not able to go Nature Studies as well. So I'm not gonna be able to go Guardian Animals. It's just a rough spot. It really is.
Treasure?
He doesn't have anything. He just goes face. And now, I draw the bomb. I'm never trading his minion, right? At the same time, you could. Again, a very complicated turn. Trading a 5-4 into a 4-2 just seems horrible. I think just playing Teacher's Pet is the best play here. Because we picked up the Innervate, so we have Innervate for the Guardian Animals. The issue is Guardian Animals only summons 1 minion right now. Because we drew the second Teacher's Pet, unfortunately. I'm really wondering how this whole thing would have played out if I just played the Teacher's Pet last turn. I would have been slower, but slower would be better against his guy that revives the weapon. And maybe it was just better to coin the Guardian Animals. Again, if you see like a clear line of play, post it in the comments and I'll read comments and like try to improve. This is not too bad. Like, he's putting a lot of damage into my minion. Again, pretty difficult turn. I want to start with this. Ironic Cravings is kind of like a Glowfly that has Rush. But it also overloads you. So maybe it's just better to pick Glowfly. It's one of those two. You never pick Savagery. And now I'm considering heavily to go Guardian Animals. I draw more cards. Drawing more cards means you have more spells. More spells means Glowfly is going to be more effective. The problem with Glowfly, that deck has a million AoEs, so they don't really care. I'm going to trade like this. 2-4 into 1-2 and 5-2 into the 2 damage. Simply because he has the 3 damage weapon equipped that he wants to use to kill my tiger anyways. So if he wants to kill the tiger anyways, I might as well save my porcupine. Here I'm just tying up the Zera. I want to get it down ASAP. If I draw one of the blooms, I'm definitely going to bloom the Zera. Pretty hard turn for him as well. I'm not sure what's the best thing to do.
I must choose.
Okay. That's not playable. So it's either Glowfly or it's Teacher's Pet. I just really don't see any other play. Overgrowth is good, but you cannot just overgrowth and that be your turn. It's really too slow and it's too simple. I really want the Izera, but I cannot cast it. Like here, Bloom would have been amazing. Just play Izera and go next. And then just let the Izera dragons do the thing. I forgot exactly how many bombs I had in my deck. I should have tracked it. I'm a bit tired, obviously. I played just a couple of hours ago all day. So I don't have the brain power to also keep track of how many bombs there are in my deck. Like 2 or 3. I know I drew one of the bombs early. And then he attacked. He attacked 4 times, so I have 3 bombs. I think. Yeah, he traded the Porcupine. And now he's just gonna AoE. Yeah, 2 Brawls, 2 AoEs. Very unlikely for Glowfly to stick, but we traded 5 mana for 5 mana, and we're technically a Druid. I mean, a Druid without a ramp. He's not a real Druid, is it? Again, awkward. I have to start with that. Ugh. With 3 bombs drawing 1, 2? 2 out of 3 bombs and I had like 14 cards left or something like that. I'm like, give me heal. I need it. So yeah, he played 4 bombs and I drew 3 of them like really quickly. Like, unrealistically quickly. Technically, that's not too bad because his boom becomes worse, but it's not good. I'm not hovering over the deck right now. I forgot exactly how many cards I have left. 14, okay. 14 cards out of which one is a bomb. So basically, I had 16 with 3 bombs and I do bomb, bomb. Rough, rough, rough. Let's keep a bit. So he just goes Deathwing and I get a 1-2 that summons a 4-4. Pretty mediocre beast if you ask me. And that is like a pretty difficult decision point. I'm not doing the bomb, thankfully. And I have Alexstrasza, I have Izera. Objective is killing the Deathwing. You can kill the Deathwing with Swipe and Borg Beam. But if you go Swipe and Borg Beam, that's not super efficient. I feel like you never overflow here because you overdraw too many cards. I mean, you could go Swipe, Borg Beam, and then Overflow. Take the Overdraw, and then Moonfire. It's a bit risky. I really wanted to heal, and I calculated that if I heal plus Overgrowth plus Swipe is like a clean curve. I end up drawing the second Borg Beam, so that means that I don't even need to play the Swipe. I could play the Swipe for mana efficiency, to then keep a Borg Beam for next turn. But Swipe is kind of really good with Malygos. I also calculated a play. So, okay, the reason why I did this, let me pause a bit. At this point, I had Geppetto, Malygos, and the 6 mana guy that resets your mana. I forgot his name. Whatever, you know, the new legendary with Spell Burst as my only minions. If I draw Geppetto, I go Geppetto, I draw 1 mana Malygos, 1 mana reset, I play both, I Moonfire his face, I have 10 mana. I Germinate the Malygos, swipe, lethal damage. So Geppetto was lethal, both this turn and next turn. So that's the reason to keep the swipe if you draw the second Bog Beam. And I was thinking of that, believe it or not. I'm not a god though. I remember I'll still make a mistake later. But not playing the swipe here was good. You just give yourself... That's why I was looking. I was like, okay. 1 out of 11 we get him. Because I have 1 bomb. So 1 out of 11, 9%. He's dead. Just need to draw the Geppetto. Let's keep a bit. Just place the weapon. Shoot my face. Okay. 2 bombs, 12 cards. Drawing both is 2 out of 12 and then 1 out of 11. Probably not gonna happen. Right? He's just playing the cash to empty his hand for some reason. Dead guardian animals. Now it's a very complicated spot. I'm looking at the weapon. I'm like... He doesn't really have direct burst. No Zephyrs. I should play the Izera here. I should just close my eyes, play the Izera. I'm pretty safe. That weapon does look threatening, but I am pretty safe. Yeah, no questions. I don't know what was in my head, but I played Alexstrasza here. I'm roping, I'm still thinking. I was thinking of Geppetto and all that. I was like, I play Alex, guarantee the survival 1 more turn, I get rid of Geppetto, I win. But I should have played Izera. He had nothing that could kill me. Other than obviously me drawing the bombs, which is something you don't really play around that well by going Alex. This was just a mistake. By going Izera 1 turn earlier, I could have drawn the dragons and the dragons could have like bailed me out. Then he goes like all in, maybe I even draw 1 of the bomb, go like 2 health. Alex, myself, we're back in it. Then he has to attack me and then I have to draw 3 bombs while I control the board with the dragons. So this was probably like my biggest mistake of the series so far. Yeah. I was just scared, but he couldn't have anything. So it's one of the situations where I don't have too much experience in the matchup. The thing is, the expansion came out like a week ago, and we tried to play a lot of matchups. Believe it or not, I'm not like I wasn't like not practicing. It's just like to know every single matchup of every single deck takes a lot of time, even if you're at the highest level, and you just don't have time to go for like every single matchup that many times. And maybe I'm also like having some form of fear simply because Egg Warrior could really burst you due to Corkron. But this deck is not running Corkron, this deck is not running Grommash. They have 0 direct damage from hand. They can just weapon you, and they can buff the weapon and weapon you. They can Dr. Boom and AoE, but you don't need to be Sherlock Holmes to make the read that if he had Dr. Boom, he would have played it 1 turn ago, 2 turns ago, 3 turns ago. You don't play around top deck Dr. Boom. So if he doesn't have Dr. Boom plus AoE, he doesn't have any direct damage. And now I'm playing Izera in a worse spot than I could have played it 2 turns ago. This was just... I want to skip this. Whatever, you go Izera. He's at 25, so I'm just giving up on the Moonfire Malygos thing, and I'm just trying to win with Izera. If I draw Geppetto, my damage output, while not Moonfiring, is 6 from the Moonfire, and then it's 14 from the swipe. It's just double Malygos swipe. That's 20 damage. He's close to 30. So I just prefer to play the Moonfire like that. He draws, he plays that. Whatever. Put bombs in my deck.
You think this is your time? It is mine.
Living on the edge. And I got the Omu. So now my Geppetto OTK combo is out. Playing Overflow here is too risky. I had something like 8 normal cards and like 3 bombs. And if I draw 2 bombs, I'm dead. And if I overflow, I draw 5 cards out of 8. So, statistically, I'm dead more than 70% of the time, probably. While I don't even kill him next turn. So I was just thinking of a Germination play and hope he doesn't have Brawl, second Brawl. This play is not bad. I can just hope I don't draw the bomb. I have Lethal set up on board. He already played the Brawl. So there's 2 ways he can clear me now. He can clear me with the new Legendary. And he can clear me with Brawl. And that's about it. The new Legendary just gave the Warrior deck another board clear. And it's one of the main reasons why Warrior can play this bomb version. Because they just board clear you with like one card and a half. They need Barov and Skipper. And that's it. Barov is incredibly powerful. And you'll see later in other sets as well how powerful Barov is. He does have the second Brawl though. So he doesn't even need the Barov. And at this point we're dead. We're not winning. So yeah, big mistake here. Probably I lost percentages. A lot of them. Again, it's a tough environment. And it's not easy to play perfectly. Again, I'm trying my best, but I will be harsh on myself and honest with myself. I played badly this one game. Again, if you see mistakes in other games, let me know. I want to improve. So I keep my Druid. I have to 3-0 Tempo Mage. Tempo Mage was brought by every single player and is probably every single player's weakest link. It's a very high rolly deck. That's a full cape. So, in my opinion, and I think in a lot of people's opinion, you should always keep Breath of Dreams together with the dragon. Even if it's a 9-mana dragon, you just keep your dragon to make the old Wild Growth that also draws you a card. It's just too powerful to ramp and draw a card. So you just keep the Malygos, you just keep the Alex, you just keep the Izera, if offered together with Breath. Then you also keep the Innervate because it gets you faster to the Guardian Animals. And by full keeping, you reduce the chance of drawing your 5-mana beast, so you make Guardian Animals even better. So there's only reasons to keep, no reasons not to keep. I love it. He keeps 2 cards as well, just plays that on 1, probably going to play the draw on 2. That's a very powerful way of playing. He's just jamming, going in. I'm also going in on the card draw. You never Moonfire trade there. You just ignore the Sorcerer's Apprentice and you go face. I mean, you go face. You go for your game plan is what I was trying to say. So, with 2 coins, basically I can play it on 5. So next time I can just swipe. It's pretty good. 1 mana draw 2. Pretty good. Sorcerer's Apprentice, ladies and gentlemen. I told you, that mage is just basically sorcerers. So he magic tricks a secret. He picked that secret, he discovered it, he wanted it. I'm obviously thinking Counter Spell or Spellbender. So we have to drop the Moonfire. In this matchup, you don't really need to OTK them. I just play Malygos for tempo. It's very hard for the Mage to deal with it. This matchup I know a lot. So I know what the Mage deck can do, I know what the Druid deck can do. So I'm way more comfortable using my resources. He picked a very good tempo secret. He was expecting me to overgrowth, so he picked that just to put a lot of damage on board and like punch me for a lot. I'm not picking bees because I don't want to play it now and later it's be useless. That's much better. By the way, I'm not sure on the nature studies. This is like the best thing it can do. Give you like another swipe, another Moonfire, or sometimes an overgrowth for a wild growth, but like doesn't feel like a great card. Okay, he's tempo Chemvalaing. He doesn't know what's gonna happen to him. I'm gonna coin Innervate the new ultimate infestation, which is Guardian Animals. Bam! Slap it on curve. And probably you don't lose from here. This is just too powerful. This is the reason why you play Druid. This is the reason why a lot of people ban Druid. Bloom not bad either. Let's keep a little bit. He's just drawing. At this point, I was like, yeah, sure. So you spend half of your turn to draw. I spend my turn to summon 2 minions and draw. Let's see who comes out ahead of that. not bad. Just drop it. And next turn, Lightning Bloom, one of the 9 drops. So he goes for a second Sorcerer's Apprentice. He had a very good hand. I did too. But he had a good hand. Evocation gives like 8 cards. Get ready to rumble. You gotta go fast. Play all the 0 mana spells. Yep. Evocation into evocation. What can be better? Fireball. Doo, 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 doo. Pretty big. At least he doesn't have secrets in play. He just has the side quest. And I have the Moonfire. Because his deck runs Conjurers, you have to kill the 8/8. It's the only way you lose.
Job's done.
And his board now should technically be unable to deal with a 4/12 Malygos. He just couldn't. He just shouldn't. He's probably trying to draw another Giant. And or Conj.
What makes something real?
Pretty strong.
Works again.
When they're so close between 4/5 and 4/4, maybe you just randomize it. But generally, you want to pick the one with lower health. So generally, it's the 4/4, but he could just randomize it. But if people think people randomize it, he's gonna pick the 4/4. Doesn't really matter that much. I'm always gonna be forced into a swipe here. I don't want to have to guess the trade. Go Maly into the wrong one. You just play it. And we get another swipe in the LA. Push a lot of damage. This is looking pretty comfortable. I really wish I wasn't overloaded so that I could germinate the Malygos, but it is what it is.
You fight me, you get burned.
Another secret that he picked. And finishes the Learn Draconic side quest. I top deck my second swipe. So generating a swipe was pretty huge this game. I test for contact spell while just making sure I have little every secret. And bam! Finally! Winning a game, getting some confidence. Rocky start. I'm not super happy with how I played the second game. At all. I will say it again. I want to keep shaming myself into becoming a better player. This game was pretty clean, but it's also Druid that's been very similar for like years. As long as you know like the basics of tempo, you should be able to play Druid. I mean Druid versus aggro, because like last game was also Druid. But last game I had so many hard decisions, even like on turn 4 and stuff. It was very high. I went to the toilet here. It's a series against Jarla, what can you do? Okay. I'm queuing up the Warrior. I have Warrior and I have Mage left, I think. So it was rough, but it was possible. Again, I think Mage is gonna be every player's weakest deck, even though every player brought it. So, this Warrior deck was given to me by Casey and Bonnie Hopper. And they told me it's like Kingsbane Rogue. You keep weapon, you hit them in the face with the weapon, you clear their board, and then you hit them in the face with the weapon more, and then you clear their board again. So you should keep Range Caliber in most situations. If they don't have Woods, you keep it, and then you buff it. The deck is crazy. Wait, I need to put it on the screen 1 second. So the deck plays double upgrade, ladies and gentlemen. Double upgrade, the 1 mana card. It's playing green skin, and it's playing the new legendary, the Doctor. You keep Skipper because Skipper plus 2 minions just clears their 2 health shenanigans. Skipper plus Barov is a full clear. I mean, on the play, when I already keep the weapon, keeping the Skipper seems a little bit weird. But I thought about it and I felt like it was fine. Here you don't play the Sky Raider. So if you keep the Skipper, you're not going to play any minion because you want them to activate your Skipper. Obviously. That card is so powerful. Like, Tempo Mage is winning a lot of games by cheating mana on that with Sorceress and then playing more Solarian Primes, or playing a lot of spell damage early on and then drawing a lot of cards for very cheap and then doing the Sorceress Mana Cyclone shenanigans. But yeah, it's a very spell damage Sorceress oriented deck. It's pretty much winning with that. Let's just keep up our pass. Let's keep a bit. I'm not gonna Blade Storm it. I have to just do that.
Vengeance.
Buy one, get one free.
So here I go weapon. And I have the decision between hitting the 3-2 and hitting the face. If you hit the face, you kind of commit to brawling. If you hit the 3-2, you make him overextend a bit more. I think you never hit face here. Like, as much as you want to hit face with this deck and then clear with other cards, I feel like when you play the weapon, you kind of want to take the trade. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not good enough at this deck, but I feel like you get too much value for trading the minion that you should just take it and be happy with it. I took the trade, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't, like, thrilled. He's just tempoing the Firebrand. I do upgrade. Upgrade kills the Firebrand, but I'm like, oh, do I want to kill the Firebrand again? I definitely cannot brawl, because if you brawl, you cannot attack with the weapon. So, like, every single play you have wants to play the upgrade.
What now?
It's rough. Like, I want to play upgrade. I want to hit face, but I also want to kill his 3-4.
What
In hindsight,
now?
I should just upgrade Hero Power, go face. Just let him have 5 damage to me. In pure hindsight. I think I'm roping this turn. Yeah, I ended up trading the Firebrand. I don't know, guys. Could have went face there. He would still probably play 1 more minion. It feels like I'm trading too much, and I don't want it. I don't like it. I don't want to trade this much. If I ignore his Firebrand, he's not gonna want to play spells because he's wasting the spell burst. I guess he wouldn't care. He would just play some spells and get some value, and maybe just keep the board as it is. That's the thing. If you ignore their board, they're gonna keep it for next turn, and then if you don't have a great way of removing it next turn, because I wouldn't want to brawl it next turn either, then you still have to deal with it. Whereas if you deal with it with your weapon, they might play enough for you to justify playing the brawl. I still think 4 damage was big, and maybe I should have went face.
Is it cold in here?
Again, let me know down in the comments.
Works against me.
Just tempoing Chemvala. Another upgrade. Okay, here I want to brawl. I want to upgrade. I want to hit his face. If Chemvala survives, I have to trade it. But hopefully just the one attack guy survives. Yeah. That's my luck. This one I don't think you can ignore. Because then he just makes 5/5s, and then you have to invest another Brawl into it. And yes, we have a Blade Storm as well, but like... This trade I was fine with. The other trade at previous turn, maybe we should have went 4 damage face. And then maybe he would play Shimvala as well. And then we get the better Brawl. We only have to trade 1.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Hard turns, man. I don't know. Obviously, people would be like, I'll go face. Smorg. It's all about like minimizing the damage, because if you take less damage, you have more turns. If you have more turns, you have more time to deal damage to them, and you have more time for them to draw the bombs. So I'm just like trying to play cautiously. As much as I can, at least. He's freezing his minions, so I'm like, oh, okay. Cool.
Warriors of the frozen wastes, rise up! Warriors of the frozen wastes, rise up!
That secret at the end ruins a lot of my plans, because now I have to test for counter spell. Was it ever correct to just guess it's contact spell or bender and just naked shield slam to not waste your Corsair cash? Shield slam is pretty okay. He's not MVP, but now I'm running kind of dry.
What makes something...
I'm feeling okay about this play because there's so many secrets in the game, and he probably would have picked and played most of them. Like Flame Ward is the one that he probably wouldn't play. He would play Barrier there. He would play the one that activates on spells. He would play a lot of secrets, even Entity maybe. Probably not Entity. So I don't really want to respect it too much. This does look like a very good skipper turn.
I'll show you who's boss.
Someone's gotta lead the
I want to see what pirate I get before I play the cash. I think that's reasonable, right? Because you can get green skin, and then you don't want to cash because you cannot play the green skin. I draw my Caliber, so I'm like, okay, kill the dragon and keep the next weapon. I think it's good to keep the next weapon for efficiency. You lose 2 armor, but efficiency matters. Was it better to armor? Like, let's say you draw a Deathwing. Let's say you draw Professor Krastinov. Or Doctor, whatever his name is. Or Greenskin. I just feel like I want to use my mana better. And I felt pretty safe at 20. With how much removal I'm having. But maybe there was a consideration for armoring up. That's why we're doing this review. To like see these small things that we could improve on. That Firebrand that I should have ignored earlier, and this armor up. He's definitely gonna Cyclone. Bombastic. Yeah, imagine not having the weapon. I mean, this is pure hindsight. But it was this, and it was the Deathwing. And I don't know if it was something else. But I feel like 2 armor, like, who cares? But now I'm very happy that I keep last turn. You kill the spell damage guy, you just make his life harder. At this point, the fact that he's 30 health kind of sucks. I should hit him more in the face. Again, I realistically could have hit him only once. And be happy with it.
Hold that.
He's just deep freezing my face. And then Ray of Frosting my boom. Here's another complicated turn. With double Shield Slam, I could just Hero Power double Shield Slam. I could Brawl. Brawl is a lot of damage. Was it a mistake to do what I did? I'm keeping the boom and I'm thinking in my head that boom is like really good versus Mage. So I prioritized keeping the Brawl. Like, the bombs went pretty well. I didn't even have to use my second Shield Slam. This was a really good turn. But Brawl would be more damage. Could also be a game-destroying outcome if Water Elemental survives, though. I think this was the reasonable play. Again, if any mathematicians are super bored and they don't have anything to do, you can calculate how much average damage it was there to Brawl, and if that is more worth than a 7-7. Pyroblast my face for 11. That was... Uy. And again, Mage deck doesn't really have a way to deal with Boom, but Solarian Prime is just like... He takes the board and does this with it, like... And now I'm already like feeling under pressure from feeling super comfortable at 23 health with board in my control, with bombs in his deck, like 4 or 5 bombs, how many he had. With weapon equipped with 2 charges, I was feeling on top of the world. Solarian Prime, boop, just pushes me off the top. And I have to Deathwing. We have to kill the Solarian. I'm super afraid of Mirror Entity. But I'm like, it is what it is. If he hasn't, he hasn't. I go face, and Flame Ward makes the Deathwing a little less bitter. I'm still not thrilled. I wish I had 1 armor to Shield Slam my own guy so that Deathwing survives. If he goes Skipper Deathwing, Skipper activates after the Deathwing.
I wonder.
I think. I'm 90% sure Skipper activates after the Deathwing. What if I'm wrong? I mean, keeping Skipper is also good for Barrow. Like, keeping the Deathwing with like 3 health is not game winning. So even if Skipper would somehow activate before, it wasn't really that great. But I admit I'm not 100% sure on the interaction. Probably should be. Yep. 6 damage. Great. I love taking damage. That Tempo Mage doesn't really have direct damage. They don't play Bolt. They don't play Fireball. They just rely on winning with pressure and discovering stuff. But no natural born. By the way, he has a lot of bombs in the deck. I'm not sure if it's 4 or 5, but it's a lot of bombs in very few cards. Okay, not very few. Or it's like 5 bombs. Maybe more. 5 or 6. He only drew 1. And I attacked like a lot of times. I attacked double upgrade. He's not pinging his face. Because that puts him in range. He could have pinged his face there for like an extra 6/6. He doesn't want it. Cutting class is pretty good here. It's a very good form of card draw. Barov again, an amazing card. And now Skipper Barov gives me the clear. As I previously stated, that you can keep Barov. You can keep Skipper for the Barov clear. I'm trying to think if there are any fancy ways of doing this.
I wonder.
I was thinking Barov Bladestorm. But then I realized if I go Skipper, Barov, Hero Power, Shield Slam, I get to keep Barov. And I get to keep Brawl Bladestorm, which is another clear in it of itself. And I feel pretty safe at 9 health. Like, again, Mage doesn't have direct damage. He already direct damaged me for like 17, which he shouldn't. I mean, Mage can do everything. It's not really fair to say he shouldn't. But like, it's very hard for him to do this consistently. That doesn't throw the bomb. He has like 6 bombs, 19 cards, I think. Font of Power. Yep.
You know, take candle.
3 + 1 is 4. Quick maths. And that was my first series. You're right, GG. Obviously. Sportsmanship. Hero GG back. Again, Jarla is one of the best players in the world. I feel like in this series, I wasn't totally warmed up. I feel I was way more in the zone in all the other 3 series than I was in this one. I'm not sure really why. Maybe I need more mental practice. Real big mistakes was the Druid game with the Izera. And small things was the Flame Waker thing. The Flame, whatever his name is. But Warrior versus Tempo Mage was very favorable. But even if I would win that, then I would have a 50-50 mirror match. Which is not bad. I tried to play for my chances and I didn't really think too much of the mistake I made. Like, I didn't let it tilt me or anything like that. But again, in a tournament with so many rounds, it's impossible to not make any mistakes. And sometimes the mistakes happen early on in the round 1. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this thorough analysis. I will do it of the other 3 matches as well. So don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. Again, if I get 2,000 likes on at least one of the videos, I will make this thing next week as well. It's a lot of effort and it's different type of content, so I just want to like see how you guys like it. So bring on the feedback, bring on the heat. I'll be reading the comments. Thank you very much for watching and stay tuned.